What's going on? What's going on? So I wanted to hop on here quickly just to share some tips, share like a practice tip that I use that I don't think I've ever shared with anybody. So it's just something that I kind of keep to myself that I started doing maybe a few years back, but I figured it could possibly help you guys. So I wanted to talk about it today. So as soon as you come on, number one, I tell people all the time, go ahead and identify where you're from because this is a great platform to network with if you want to talk and connect with other people. I've seen people do this before when people were asking about guitar questions. They were just trying to realize like, oh, yo, this is what it is. So I'm always trying to plug people, trying to connect people because that's what it's all about. So if you have any kind of questions or whatever, and you want to be able to help and just give some insight, this is a great platform to do so. But yeah, just do me a favor when you come onto this channel. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, do me a solid and subscribe. Do me a huge favor, subscribe to this channel and also click the bell to be notified. That would be great because I just want to make sure that you are able to follow this journey. We talk about guitars, we talk about practice techniques, we talk about all types of things guitars. And if I don't know it, then I'll tell you that I don't know it. But if I do know it, I'll answer the question and I'll give you the real of the real. I don't try to sugarcoat anything or to give you anything to make it sound or feel it's really cool or whatever the case may be. So when more people come into the room, I'm going to talk about a practice technique that I use that I feel like will be very helpful that you can probably add to your repertoire. I mean, maybe you guys do this already, you just don't realize you do it. Or, I mean, whatever the case may be. I was doing it today and I realized like, oh, I should definitely share this because it could definitely help somebody else. And that's what I'm all about, is helping the next guitarist reach their full potential, because I remember being at a place where I wanted help. I just needed some insight. I just needed a little push. And once I got that little push, I was able to kind of spread my wings and kind of get out there and flap my wings and do what I needed to do. So I want to offer that same bit of advice to you guys because I know how beneficial it can be and how helpful it can be. So when more people come on, I definitely will I'll start to disclose what that practice technique is, just so you guys are aware of what that is. But if you got a question, whatever the case may be, you can definitely let me know. It's all about helping one another grow in their craft. So what's up? Somebody said good morning. Yo, good morning, Joseph. How you doing, man? You doing all right? What's going on? Everybody's doing great this morning. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Hope everybody's feeling great, doing well. Somebody, coffee and guitars, let's go. That's what's up. I love it. I love it. Maybe we should make that a thing, coffee and guitars. I like that. I like that title. That's really cool. What's up from London? That's what's going on, man. Good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody's doing really well. Like I said, before everybody started to come in, I want to share a practice tip that I normally do. It just came back to my memory today because I did it this morning while I was practicing over some material for a rehearsal that I have tomorrow. And I wanted to share with you guys that technique that I use. Again, it's nothing that I don't feel like is like life changing, but it's a technique nonetheless. And so it could help you guys. Maybe some of you guys do it already, you don't know about it, or maybe you guys don't know anything about it and maybe it can help, provide some insight on and just practicing. That's really what it's all about. So let's just dive right in. I got enough people in the room. As people watch this at a later time, hopefully they should understand or whatever. How should I make more lyrics for my rock song? Let me answer that question first. How should you make more lyrics for your rock song? You got to talk about stuff that you know, or stuff that other people have talked to you about that you can kind of glean information from in order to make some lyrics. That's usually where lyrics come from. Instead of using a daisy chain and power adapter, what's the best device for using multiple pedals? So Joseph, if I were you, I would definitely go find somebody who specializes in doing pedal boards. That's the best way for you to figure out how to not daisy chain or get the kind of patterns or particular things that you want. I'm not a band guitar nerd in that particular regard. I don't know which pedals go where, which to do whatever. So usually I go to a guy and they tell me what I should purchase. Or you can watch a whole bunch of YouTube tutorials. There's a lot of guys out there that are giving information. That's the best thing I could tell you, Joseph. For me, I use the Rig Doctor. He's a close friend of mine, a really good associate that I know. So I go to him for any pedal board needs that I have. Do your kids share interest in the arts? Yay or nah? Not necessarily. My oldest is in choir. and he plays piano, but like as far as like interest in guitar the way that I am, nah. But again, I'd let my kids have their own minds and their own freedom to do whatever they decide to do. All right, so let me jump back in to talk about what I wanted to talk about initially. So the practice tip that I use is I normally will practice with my guitar volume on nothing, on zero. So you don't hear anything except for the natural acoustics of the room. So when I'm playing with the record, I want to be able to listen to what the record is doing. So here's a song that I got to learn, right? So. And the reason why I practice like that is so that way, number one, I can pay attention to exactly what I'm playing. Because a lot of times if you have effects on or other things on, it gets lost in translations, kind of if you're hitting the right notes, if you're playing the right things. I want to make sure that I'm hitting the right notes. So again, like I said, it wasn't anything that was like life shattering or life altering. I will go through the whole song with my volume on zero so I can listen to exactly what they're playing. Number one, it's forcing my ear to really pay attention to everything that's going on around me. As a musician, I think a lot of times we neglect our ears. Our ears are our eyes. They see the road for us. They let our hands know where they should go, what they should be playing, if that's wrong, if it doesn't feel right. Our ears are our eyes. So we got to make sure our ears are just as strong as anything else. It all works together. You know, like if you think about the body, the spine is connected to our brains. Our brain is sending out information that's going through our spine, which is also sending out to different nerves and letting our hands know to do what, our feet do whatever our body to function. So it all works together. So your ears got to be just as strong as you having the knowledge of knowing what chords to play. If your ears aren't that strong, it's really going to impede how well you play. So I challenge you in your practice time to maybe try to do that. Like put the record, you know what I'm saying, not crazy low, but low enough to where you can hear your acoustics from your guitar with no volume and the record and play along. And I think it'll definitely help strengthen you in what you're doing. Like if you're playing the right kind of stuff, if you're missing stuff or whatever, because I know a lot of times in the past, I used to miss stuff and it's just what it is because I didn't hear it because I'm playing along with the record. And sometimes I miss some of the stuff, but it forces me to kind of hone in specifically and hear, you know, exactly what's going on in the record. All right, we had a few questions. So William, I don't do private lessons, but if you want lessons from me, you should definitely go check out Kerry's Camp. It is KerrysKamp.com. If you ever heard me mention anything, most of your guitar needs, if not all of your guitar needs when it comes to gospel, neo-soul, and R&B, I've got you. If you want to learn how to play the way that I play, you should definitely check it out. If you're an acoustic player, you should check it out. If you're into gospel, you should check it out. If you do quartet, you should check it out. If you do R&B, neo-soul specifically, we got you covered. So you should definitely check it out. KerrysKamp.com. Beautiful. I would have thought they would. No off course for freedom. Do anything absolutely cool. That's my tip. So yeah, my tip is normally I will listen to the record with my guitar volume on zero so that way I can play through it and ensure that I've got it right. And I can work out the parts. I can hear the intricacies of, oh, if I missed a lick or if I didn't get this lick right or whatever the case may be, and then go back and fine tune it. And then once I feel like I have it really underneath my hands, then I'll go back and play with the volume up. So that way I can make sure that I'm like tone wise, that my tone is actually right. But I want to make sure that I have the foundation of the chords right, the rhythm right, the feel right, ensure that I'm getting all of those parts right. Because if I'm getting those parts right when I have the volume up, then I'm good to go. Then it's just really fine tuning like the nuances of the actual tone, making sure it's the right tone, it sounds good, does it feel like the record feels? Those are the things that are important to me. Ears are our eyes. That's amazing. I lose myself sometimes in trying to look for notes as opposed to listening. Yeah, man, I think we all get caught up into like looking for the notes versus listening and forget how important it is for us to really focus in on our ears. Our ears are our eyes. Without our ears, we're not going to be able to really play to our full potential. Not saying that you can't do it, but if your ear is weak, that is an area that I feel like you should definitely start applying more information and more knowledge in, because your ear training is phenomenal. And speaking about ear training as I transition, that's something that you're really interested in, and you should definitely check out Kerry's Camp. We have so many courses on ear training, and it's been a beautiful thing to watch people kind of mature in their craft by watching them getting better and stronger in their ear training, just watching them being able to hear something and be able to like articulate what they're hearing on their instrument is just, it's such a joy. It's like a parent, a proud big brother moment that I get to see like so many people coming into the course and really getting it and really understanding and blossoming and spreading their wings and being and having that aha moment. I think we all are looking for that aha moment when you're playing guitar and it all starts to make sense. It all starts to come together. It all starts to make everything kind of slows down a little bit. I've heard athletes talk about like when they first come into the league, like how that when they're rookies, everything is so fast, everything's coming in so fast. But then like year 2, 3, they're in the league, things are starting to slow down, so they would start to kind of see how things are going. And I think guitar is kind of the same way. When you're playing on stage, when you're playing in a band, or you're trying to sit in, or whatever the case may be, it feels like things are just coming at you like, oh my God, I'm bombarded. What key man? What da-da-da? How do I solo? There's so many things. But Kerry's Camp is one of these platforms that allow you to help you to slow down the information to make sense so that you're able to kind of pick up your instrument, jump in with both feet and be able to play. So that's really what I'm proud about, to just see the growth with so many students. Do you have a video for beginners or learning to freestyle? So if you want to learn as a beginner how to freestyle or learn how to create riffs or how to do whatever, you should go check out Kerry's Camp. I mean, I'm seriously, everything that you need guitar-wise is in Kerry's Camp. KerrysCamp.com, Queen. I think you should definitely go check that out. Somebody said, good morning. Oh man, you're more than welcome. Good morning. Good morning from the Bay Area. Can you do a cover or / tutorial of All of Me by... I can add it to the list again. And there's so many things that people want to request, but I have to think about the masses. I'm trying to get out the mass information. I know people want specific like lessons. Can you do this? Can you do this? And I will try to accommodate as much as possible. But my goal as a guitarist, as a professional, as a person that wants to give away information or to share information, is to try to influence the masses as much as possible. I want to give you guys the most meat as possible, because I feel like that is the most important thing, is getting the meat and understanding the overall principles of how things work. Once you understand the overall principles, then you can learn and to play any kind of song that you want. But I'm trying to give you the tools so that way you can construct whatever house, whatever building that you want, that your foundation is solid whenever you play. So I was just on here just sharing some practice tips about how to really, work, how your ears are so important. And I think a lot of times we as guitarists, we neglect our ears because we're so fixated on so many other aspects of the musicality of us playing our instrument, and which is dope. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but I'm saying place emphasis on your ears. Your ears are your eyes. And if you don't have strong ears, you're literally walking blind. If you've ever walked into a dark room with your eyes closed and stumbled and ran into stuff, that's what it feels like when you're playing sometimes. You're stumbling into stuff. You're fumbling, you're bumbling. Like, how am I doing this? I can't hear this. I don't understand what this is going on. You need to work on your ear training. And so my practice technique is, when I'm normally playing, I will turn the volume all the way down on my guitar, listen to the record, have it at a volume that's like where I can hear the record and I also can hear my guitar, so I can play along with it and feel like I'm getting those lines and I'm not missing parts. That is a huge game changer for me, because when you have the volume up, you can have effects on, you get lost in what's going on, you don't really hear the intricacies of the stuff that you're doing. And so I challenge you to really just pay attention. It's really important that you pay attention to those things. And if ear training is something that you're not very strong in, I highly suggest you check out Kerry's Camp. We got the stuff and the tools that are gonna help you get strong in your ear training. KerrysCamp.com. A solid foundation of music theory in Jesus Christ. Amen, amen, amen. Yeah, I think we as musicians, it's just inevitable in the beginning that we forsake and because we don't know. A lot of times we don't know. We think about it as just like, can you play this chord? Can you do this? So it's a lot of things that we just kind of neglect. Ear training is something beginners neglect, but pros later regret doing that earlier. It's very true. Because nobody tells you. I think that's why they neglect it, because nobody tells you. Everybody's fixated on like, you gotta have a swag when you're on stage, or you gotta be able to play these chords and play these riffs, or how do you solo? There's nobody really kind of talks about bringing you in and really working on that muscle. It's just like when you're in the gym working out. A lot of times people don't see the work that you put in, but they see the end result. So it's the same when it comes to ear training. You're putting in the work, you're locking down, you get everything you need to get done. But it's going to make a huge difference whenever you start to play and display your skill. You know what I mean? Mr. Red says, good morning. I'm loving Kerry's Camp. All of the old videos you put out long ago, I can play better in just a few months. Man, Mr. Red, that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. I love reading those kind of responses and those kind of feedbacks, because that's just showing you how the camp is helping players who can go back and look at some of my older videos that I put out. Now they're able to go, hey man, I know what he's doing. I can jump in. And I know that's a different kind of freedom, a different level of freedom. So I love that. Learn the number system from Kerry's camp. Best tutorials. Oh man, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. I started on the bass and I got into lead. I can play the bass chords of a song, but don't know how to do the fills. You're another prime candidate for Kerry's camp. You should go definitely check it out. Go to kerryscamp.com. We just dropped the link in the comments. www.kerryscamp.com. KERRYSKAMP.com. If you're having trouble with how to create fills, you know how to do bass chords, we show you how to create fills. We show you how to create riffs. We show you like some of the easy go-to methods that you can do, that you can duplicate these things all the time. Other than learning the number system, chord knowledge, chord placement, what's the most important element of learning guitar? Joseph, we're talking about that, your ears. Your ear, you gotta learn how to ear train. If you do not know how to use your ears, listening to the record, listening to what people are playing, that is probably one of the most foundational, pivotal things that you gotta do, is using your ears. Hey Kerry, have you ever used a 7-string guitar? No, have not used. I'm intimidated. I don't feel like it's meant for me. So no, I don't use 7 strings. I'm a 6-string guy, the original gangster, the OG of guitars. That's what I do, 6 strings. I'm not trying to modify, trying to enhance, because I haven't perfected this. I'm still working on this craft, and every day I'm working on my craft to get better and better. So I haven't jumped up to that just yet. Also, everybody that's in here, if you're not subscribed to this channel, do me a solid. Subscribe to this channel, click the bell to be notified. So the way you don't miss out on informational like tidbits like this when we're talking, or just me just kind of playing through and just kind of jamming out with you guys, whatever. That's really what it's all about. So I want to hop on here really quickly and just share some information about how important it is for you to really fine tune your ears. If you're struggling with ear training or something that you haven't done in the past, I highly suggest you check out Kerry's Camp. We got the courses that you need. I'm telling you, we got the stuff that you need that's really going to help you grow in your craft. KERRYSKAMP.com. There's been a link that's been dropped in the comments, so you should definitely check it out. Click on it if you're curious. Even if you're just curious, you just want to be like, what is this? Just click on it. There's nothing that's going to happen to you. Your phone is not going to blow up. Your iPad, your laptop, your smartphone is not going to blow up. I promise you. You'll be fine. You'll be okay. So I'm just gonna open it up right now. I'll take a few more questions and just to see what's up. How was it to play at the wedding? Looks dope. The wedding was dope, man. I had a great time. It was good. You know, like number one, I play for D Smoke, so just getting a chance to get back up with the band before we have to actually do like work was really cool. So it's always good, you know, connecting with the musicians that you used to jam out with. That's all really good. Okay, other than ear training, I've also been doing some rhythm training, working on metronomes and getting comfortable with the different grooves and time signatures. I feel it's just important. Yeah, it all works together, but you know what I'm saying? If you don't know what you're playing, if you can't hear what you're playing, it doesn't matter if you're working on rhythm. They all work hand in hand. All right, Kerry, I love to hear you play gospel hymns. You playing is heartfelt. Yeah, that's what gospel music is, Joseph. Like gospel music is heartfelt, so you want to try to convey that when you play. I'm not one of these guys that just plays the notes and you don't feel it. I want to make sure that even when I'm going through and I'm rehearsing it, I'm rehearsing to be intentional so that way you do feel it when you hear it. Hey, Kerry, I'm an intermediate player, but I'm concentrating on learning new chords and licks, but I have not worked on staying on beat. How do you recommend I start that? So Brittany, I would say like if you're in the camp, number one, you want to start working on playing with a metronome. Your timing is super important. So working with a metronome, being intentional, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, whatever you need to do, tapping your foot, rocking your head, moving from side to side. You got to work on your timing, because if your timing is off, it's really not going to work whenever you're playing. What specific part of Kerry's camp is ear training? Where it says ear training. That's a specific part where ear training is. Go to the module that says ear training. If you have questions about the cost of Kerry's camp, just email support or just go check out, you know what I'm saying? All the information that you'll need is on kerryscamp.com. Can you do a tutorial on R&B and neo soul strumming patterns? If you want to learn how to do R&B and neo soul strumming patterns, you're another candidate, should definitely check out Kerry's camp. We have all of that stuff and so much more in Kerry's camp. The link is in the description, KERRYSKAMP.com. Do you use scales or arpeggios doing your solos? I don't use either, because most of my solos are mapped out. So whatever the programmer, whoever programmed it, we're not running just scales, so it just depends. I'm more about playing melodies. Hey Kerry, and old and new music that's recently inspired. Any old or new music that's recently inspired me? Um, that's a tough question. I think I'm more into new music. I'm more into Afro beats. So there's a song called Sinner that's out. That's really dope. An Instagram thing on it. I think it was like yesterday or something like that. I'm really feeling like vibing with the Afro beats. So I downloaded an Afro beats playlist on Apple Music, and I love it. So that's probably the new music that I'm really into. Hi, Kerry. I hope that you're doing well. Thank you for the lessons and the lives from South Africa, man. I appreciate that. It means a lot. What are some of your inspirations? Some of my inspirations, it varies. I mean, it could be art, it could be life, it could be music. It's a whole bunch of different things. Hey, Kerry, is there also a section in your camp about effects, amps, settings? Yes, we talk about tone. We talk about all that stuff in the camp. Happy you're doing these things, brother. Keep it going. Man, I appreciate that. We'll definitely keep doing it. Just showing you some love, Kerry Too Smooth. I appreciate that, man. Been watching and digging your stuff for some years now. Much love. I appreciate that. What do you think about African music? Afro beat stuff is dope. So like I love Afro beats kind of stuff. It just depends on the vibe. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I connect more with Afro beats. I don't know whether you get this or a lot, but whenever I hear you solo on the guitar, it sounds so much like a female R&B singer, like Aretha, Beyonce. I appreciate that. I feel like I don't sound like Aretha or Beyonce. I feel or Etta James. I feel like I'm more current when I solo, but I appreciate that. That's still a huge compliment. Those names that you listed are like some definitely like juggernauts in the R&B lane. So I don't want to forsake that, but I feel like my sound is a lot more current than that. But I appreciate that. I know what you're trying to say. So that's a huge compliment. So I definitely appreciate that. All right, I'm gonna take a few more questions before I let you guys get back to your day. How would you ever, have you ever had to play slash strum without a pick? Yes, I've dropped my pick plenty of times. It's happened to me plenty of times, and I've had to do the old hand method until you get to the next song or you get to a break. Yes, I've had to do that. It's just something you got to do. You know what I mean? You just got to make it do what it's got to do. For those that are coming in, if you're brand new to the channel, do me a solid, subscribe to this channel and click the bell to be notified. Because I would love for you to be a part of my YouTube family and continue to grow with us and continue to expand your knowledge and learn from me. Like female legends, belting their heart out and soul, bending those chords, ha ha ha. Have you ever played with Kingfish? I don't think I've ever directly played with Kingfish. Kingfish and I have talked several times, but I don't think we've ever played guitar together. So I don't think we've ever played guitar together. Hey, Kerry, much inspired by your work ethic and you sharing your gift with us. For a guitar player who is not professionally trained, how would you encourage them to improve their pinky? They need to sign up to Kerry's camp. I got courses and I talk about how to strengthen your pinky, how to get part of the pinky game. Really what it is just everything is work. It's the amount of work that you place in, just like working out, just like getting stronger in the gym, just like getting better at your craft at work. Whatever the case is, you have to apply attention. You have to be intentional about applying that information. So I would say for you, you're prime candidate for Kerry's Camp. You should definitely check it out. kerryscamp.com, KERRYSKAMP.com. There's a link that's in the description. Not in the description, but in the comments that we've been talking about. Coming from a bass, is it hard to play with a pick? No, it's not hard. You just have to be deliberate about making yourself use it. You know what I'm saying? Hey guys like you, Jubu, Isaiah, Jerry is inspiring me. You're all younger, but I'm still checking y'all out. Man, I appreciate that, David. I'm glad I'm older than Isaiah and not Jubu, but Jerry is. Did I see you on a Burbank flight? You might have seen me on a Burbank flight. It's possible. That's possible. What do you think about other handmade pedals? I haven't played them, so I don't know. I don't really have any opinion on any of those pedals that I haven't played. Do you like the John Mayer's new Sob Rock? I haven't listened to it, so I can't give you any opinion. Best way to learn the fretboard / understand the way the chords are built. You need to sign up to Kerry's Camp, and I can show you definitely how to do that. Like I said, it's a place that you can grow and seriously learn how to get comfortable on the instrument. KERRYSKAMP.com. Think you're awesome, Kerry. Love to hear your playing and inspiring. Question, when did you realize that you had unlocked the fretboard? When did I realize? That's a good question. I probably realized when I started to learn the number system. That's why I preach that ideology so much. Kerry, you are one of the few that take time out of his day to share knowledge with the fellow guitarists, man. I appreciate it. That's what I'm doing. Where did I grow up? I'm a military brat. So I grew up in North Carolina, I grew up in Seattle, and I grew up in Birmingham. The amount of work you put in, being intentional, thank you. But for real, thank you for everything you do, bro. Man, I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Man, hope you guys are having a great day. Hope you guys have learned a lot from this. I'm just going to keep it short and sweet to the point. Like I said, do me a solid, man. If you're not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Click the bell to be notified, because we're going to be doing these from time to time, and I don't want you to miss out on the information. So is it better to learn on your own or to get a tutor? I'm not sure. Finley, you need a teacher. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm sharing this information. That's why I'm telling you guys to go to kerryscamp.com, because it's a struggle to try to learn on your own if you don't know what you're doing. But it's easier when somebody can show you, point out different techniques that you've never thought about. So you should definitely check out kerryscamp.com. It's a community of guitarists that are literally all over the world, and we come together and we help one another grow. So you should definitely check it out. KERRYSKAMP.com. I love you guys. Listen, we just dropped the link in the comments. I'm trying to tell you, it's really life-changing. There's literally guitar players that message me daily talking about how inspiring the camp has been. We've had some people that have already been inside of these comments that have been talking about how great the camp has been and how it's really helped them really unpack and unlock the fretboard. Hello, Kerry. Thank you for your time spent with us. I'm French. Do you think I can learn from the camp? Yes, you can definitely learn from the camp. Yo, Kerry, greetings from Africa. Need someone to play a riff on a song I'm working on. You down? It depends. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It depends. Have a blessed day, man. You guys have a blessed day, man. Y'all stay up. Y'all stay blessed, man. Y'all be great. Go out and do something amazing. If you're trying to learn how to play guitar, if you're trying to learn how to play the way that I play, if you love my way that I teach here on YouTube, you're going to love Kerry's Camp. Go check it out. KERRYSKAMP.com. I love you guys. You guys be great.